folks have asked, why did you buy a farm? And I don't know that I have a really good answer for that, other than I knew I was looking for a challenge. Not sure I was looking for one quite this size. I didn't know anything about raising a crop, and in my case it's just grass for hay and alfalfa. I didn't know anything about cutting it and baling it, and I didn't know anything about tractors. So my learning curve was pretty steep. But I had an interest, and I wanted to learn how to do it. You just have to take a position that you're not going to quit. I don't know that I've ever worked so hard in my life, and that started in my mid-50s. But the farm is a place that I don't like to leave. I used to watch hunting shows when I lived in San Diego incessantly. It was a way of me living through somebody else's experiences when they're out in the mountains and in the woods. And I'd record them and watch them and rewatch them. In the last 7 years since I've been here, I haven't gone hunting once. I've gone with my son. The farm has changed my life in a way that I hard to kind of put my finger on. I used to live those experiences through other people watching it on TV, and now I live it every day. And I know there's lots of other folks out there that are still in those environments and are thinking about a change. What I could share with you is it ain't easy. We all have entanglements. We all have our network of friends. So to up and move, especially to a completely foreign area where we knew no one, tough to do that. But in my heart of hearts, I thought it would be better for the next generation. But what I never saw coming was every day here, what I pray for every day is one more day. And to be better. A better person, better husband, better father, better grandfather. Because this is something that I want to pass on. And when I was in the city, I never felt like that. So what I would recommend if you're thinking about making a change and you're thinking about that country life, it's worked for me. We've had plenty of people in Idaho say, "Hey Jim, welcome to Idaho. please don't bring the California politics here. And my response is, I didn't move here for politics. I moved here to be left alone. I really don't care what their politics are. And there's a hell of a lot more to life than that. But sitting in a tractor like that one behind me, I never sat in one before I bought this place. I bought that with the farm. But how does a Kubota tractor hook up to a John Deere baler? There's no manual that'll explain that. I had to figure that out. And I had a lot of people here locally that helped me figure it out. But what's a mower conditioner? How does it cut hay? And at what moisture content does that hay need to be out before you can bale it? And all of those things are things that I failed at terribly to begin with. Moldy hay, bales rolling down the mountain, taking out fences. Having a round baler on a piece of property where nothing's flat wasn't the best decision. But there's a hell of a lot to learn if you're interested. The journey is going to be what it is that you want it to be. And part of my desire to be better is I want to be able to teach my children, if they have an interest in the farm, and my grandchildren, how this works. What we learned during COVID was this whole supply chain thing kind of fragile. And when people went to Costco, they couldn't get their chicken or their pork or their beef. I really like the idea of being able to control, to the degree possible, what that looks like for my family moving forward. I'll tell you this, I've never been so high and so humbled in my life. There's a lot of really smart guys out there that have done some written books and done some videos, and Joel Salatin and Polyface Farms and Will Harris at White Oak Pastures. If you want to learn how to do this, those are the guys you should pay attention to. All you're really going to learn here is probably what not to do. But I've never been responsible for so many beating hearts. And when you lose one, that's tough. And it doesn't get easy. We lost some piglets to a barn fire that we had last year. And a guy made a comment. He said, "Well, Jim, they're just pigs." And I said, "You probably shouldn't come within reach of me, because that's not the way I see it." He realized he made a mistake and apologized. Those are some of the things that the farm life that you just can't see coming until you live it. But if you have an interest in getting in the country and maybe starting a farmstead, there's some real value to that. And you don't have to go out and buy a bunch of equipment. In fact, I'd recommend you don't. Don't go out and get into debt. Start small. Buy something you can afford, that you can enjoy every day and not worry about how you're going to make a mortgage payment. Buy something that's palatable and used equipment, and then learn how to work on it. I wouldn't recommend buying cattle right off the bat because they're big and it takes equipment and there's a hell of a learning curve. But pigs, goats, chickens, probably less likely to run you over, which has happened here with cattle. But if you're thinking about making a change and moving to the country, anything I can do to help you, I would. Because I wouldn't trade it for nothing. I love this life. And I think my children love it too. I know my grandchildren do because they're out here on the farm 5 days a week. But start studying now. Go visit farms. Talk to people that are already doing it. Go to a farmer's market. Ask those folks what they do and where they were successful and where they failed. Life is counterintuitive to schools. Here, our best lessons are our failures. Try not to do them again. As far as running equipment, extremely dangerous. That power takeoff on that thing is responsible for hurting farmers every year. You don't realize that it's spinning, extremely powerful. It catches a shirt or a jacket or whatever it is you're holding, pretty soon you're in big trouble. And when those things happen, unfortunately, you're nowhere near a phone, or you can't get to one, and there's no one there to help you. So there is a learning curve for sure. But at the end of the day, as I mentioned earlier, I just wouldn't trade it for nothing.